Welcome to another edition of the Digicel Sports Show right here on Islandstats.com. I'm here at the National Sports Center. I'm your host, Earl Baston, along with Jason Juggling J. Ford, co-host. Well, Jay, we're here at the Sports Center. Obviously, tomorrow will be the start of the Bermuda, Canada tour match. Your thoughts on cricket and the Bermuda team, starting with the captain, O.J. Pitcher?
Well, it's good to see, first of all, that he's recovering. That was the main thing going into the later part of the season, having had the bike accident and his dealing with his knee, I believe it was, to see if he would recover in time. And he has recovered. I watched him do a couple of training sessions, so he looks pretty good, recovered. And I think it's going to be interesting. We mentioned in the previous show, it's going to be interesting because there's a lot of youth on this team. So on the outset, they really need this warm-up because he hasn't had much time out in the middle with a lot of these youngsters. This team is a very new team, so as far as gelling concerned. But hey, that's our captain. We got to stand by him.
You talk about the youth, but we also have what we consider an old man recalled into the squad, World Cup player D-.
Yeah, Dean, man, I don't know how much Bengay you got left in your cabinet, but he's definitely going to need it. But you know, Dean, I think more than anything with Dean is more of his spirit and his leadership. And I think that's more valuable with this young team because these guys can probably never have been up against competition like this. So what Dean does on the field, I'm pretty sure it's going to be still acceptable as far as wicket keeping. Obviously, Dean was always been one of our premier wicket keepers probably for the past 20 years. That's not going to diminish that much, even though he's up in age. That's not going to diminish that much. But I think the leadership and his spirit, his motivational spirit, I think that's what the coach is really looking for out of minors.
Well, as we can tell, the workmen behind us are preparing the grounds for the 3 days of cricket, which will be on Friday, tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday. Yesterday, the Bermuda Cricket Board announced the squad for the matches and the Division 4. Let's get that report.
Welcome to the Cricket Board office, where we're here to announce the final 14 players that will be representing our country in the ICC World Cricket League Division 4. Additionally, we have 3 practice games against Canada over the coming week. So it's been a bit of a longer journey than we like, but we're finally here, and I can confirm that O.J. Pitcher will be the captain of Bermuda, Terran Frey is the vice captain, Trey Manders, Delray Rawlins, Dion Stovall, Danica Hoddes, Kamal Levrock, Brian Hall, Dean Miners, Stephen Brimmer, Greg Mabry, Jordan Da Silva, CJ Adderbridge and Jordan Smith. We currently have 3 players on standby, 2 seam bowlers, Zico Burgess and Micah Simons, and wicketkeeper batsman Kwame Tucker. The team leaves for Los Angeles on Tuesday, that's October 25th. And we have 3 50-over practice games scheduled against Canada, all at National Stadium starting at 10 a.m. They are on Friday, Sunday and Monday. So looking forward to some great cricket.
Any concern with your preparation thus far, though?
No, I think the preparations thus far has been quite good. The National Stadium, I just want to thank them for their efforts in providing us with a center wicket up there. First class facility to train with. We have no issues when it comes to our preparations. I think it's been spot on.
I was up there earlier today. There's 2 strips. What as a coach, what are you preferring to play on here, and then what are you hoping to find when you get to LA?
Okay. Actually, I was up there yesterday at the stadium talking to the groundsman. I know there's first strip that we've been actually training on, it's a little bit worn out, and it turns a lot because it's pretty much down to the bare clay now. Mm-hmm. So we're actually preferring to play on the next strip, which is a little bit grassier. Mm-hmm. I think it will assist the seam bowler some. It should turn some, but hopefully not as much as the other wicket. So that's what we're basically looking at. Obviously, and it should play a little slow, which is conducive to what I think we're going to get over in LA. Mm-hmm. They have drop-in wickets that are very similar to the ones that we played on in Indianapolis. The ones in Indianapolis tended to be very slow and took spin, gave a little assistance to the seam bowlers. So that's basically what we're looking for. When we go over there, obviously we're going to have to quickly adjust to the track. We'll be talking to the Canadians when they come so that they can give us some feedback as to what the wicket was like, because they have obviously played USA over there over the last couple of days. So hopefully we can get some feedback from them that would sort of enlighten us as to what we're going to be up against.
You looked at some of the scores. Obviously, Canada won 2-1, but you looked at some of the scores, 200s odd. USA struggled at times to get to those numbers. What do you assess that from the number wise?
Yeah, simply putting it down to not just USA, but I've looked at even Oman played United Arabs just as recently this last week as well. They've been hitting 180s, 170s as well. So anything above 225, you're in with a shot of winning pretty much every game. So that has always been our base target anyway as a team, to score a minimum of 225. That's our goal as a team. If we can, we just actually sort of upped it a little bit too, because we want to be able to bat and score in the excess of, say, 250. We feel that would pretty much secure us in this division. The wicket, I think, will allow us to do it. It's just a matter of how we handle the pressure of batting against some quality spin bowling. When we went to Canada, we did have the option. We did have the opportunity to bat against some quality spinners. They had left armers. They had some googlies that bowled out the back of the hand. They had some off breaks, and I thought we batted them really, really well. The difference, though, between there and Bermuda wickets, obviously this track up the stadium turns a lot more than what we'll actually get in the tournament. So if we can actually master this wicket up at the stadium over the next couple of days, that should really give us some positive, put us in a positive frame of mind going over to LA.
Over these 3 games, what do we need to do to ensure that when you board the plane Tuesday morning, you guys in the right frame of mind, spirit-wise, emotionally, and physically?
It's a difficult question, simply because I don't think during any of these games we're going to be at full strength. Obviously, you know, Del Rey is overseas, unavailable. Kamal's not going to be there for the first game, and we also have an issue with Dion Stubble work-wise. So we're going to probably be about 3 of our top all-rounders. So it's going to allow other players to really show me what they're capable of doing. It's going to give me a good look at some of these other guys that I may have had some doubt about. And at the end of the day, we're going to still go there and try to achieve the basics, because we do have goals that we want to achieve. Simple things like batting 50 overs, scoring 200 to 220. But up at the stadium again, a target, more realistic total at the stadium is probably about 180, 200 on that track. So those type of things, just looking to try to achieve certain things as a team that's going to put us in good stead for when we do go over to LA.
No secret, it's been a challenge getting this team together. Well, finalizing the team. What has it been like for you?
To be quite honest, every day it's been these last 3 weeks has just been mind-boggling. You know, trying to get it done. Obviously, we've had issues with players, with ICC and all that, and we've just had to stay patient. I've just told the guys, don't worry about all that. That will take care of itself. Let's control the controllables. What can be controlled? Us training and preparing. And that's what I've told the players to do, and that's what I've had to do. Just control the controllables, you know. At the end of the day, I'm glad that it's over though. I'm glad that it's settled now, and we can now focus on just playing cricket.
Neil, as a former ICC exec, I can say that. The challenges that we faced off the field, what we're alluding to now, how did our status change, and what would the repercussions of it changing affect our players?
Yeah, it wasn't so much that our status changed. There are rules for certain development events that are more stringent than global events. And I think what has been lost, and we've actually filed a notice with the ICC for these to be reviewed, is the original intent. So the ICC have rules for development events to help prevent countries from playing basically mercenaries that don't have an attachment to that country. So Italy is a fantastic example of flying in people from South Africa or Australia and with no necessarily major connection to the country. And those rules there are to promote indigenous development, which is something obviously we're very good at. But one of the rules that's causing us unintended collateral damage, if you like, or grief, additional work we've been through, is that players have to demonstrate that they've played 3 seasons out of the last 5 in their domestic competition. As you know, a lot of players have a UK passport, they go away in school. Some players, we've got a lot of very young players, so it was like a black swan perfect storm in terms of the playing history and the regulations. And but overall, we put a lot of work in. There's been a lot of discussion, a lot of debate back and forth with the ICC. Unfortunately, Akira Bascom couldn't become eligible, but everyone else we did get over the line. So it certainly is time for those rules to be overhauled and make sure they're actually fulfilling the intention of the original ideas way back 10-15 years ago.
So why is Akira not eligible? What's happening different? It's obviously competing more.
Yeah, there's 2 elements to criteria regulations on the ICC. You obviously need to be born. You can be born in a country. You can be a national of a country, or you can be a 4 or 7 year resident of a country to be eligible to play for your country. Once you get to Division 3 and lower, there are additional development criteria for you to demonstrate, and one is you had to have provided 100 days of cricket work in a country. The big one that we've been working on is you have to demonstrate that you've played in at least 50% of matches in 3 out of the last 5 years. So if you take a 19-year-old boy like CJ Atteridge, 5 years ago he would have been 14. He wouldn't have been the first pick for St David's first team. And of course, someone like him has been injured too. So establishing that track record is important. I guess the benefit for us is once you meet those criteria, then you don't have to reprove it.
So he basically just hasn't been playing enough domestic cricket, I guess, in a nutshell.
Exactly, yeah. He missed. Well, for CJ's example was more related to he was younger and then he was injured, and then with other players we have to be careful that they don't, not play enough in their own country to be eligible. We do have a lot of people overseas, and I think that's good for them in terms of their career development, their academic development, their cricket development. But we need to, continue to stay on top of the regulations too.
Okay, ideal. When you play your first match in the Division 4, what lay out your top 6 batsmen that you want to address, a target, because you need to lay a foundation. And who would those?
Of course. Without going into giving too much away.
They don't have to be in order.
Right. Yeah. I'm looking at guys like OJ, Taryn, Trey, Dion. What's that, 4?
Yeah.
Probably. You look at a guy like Stephen Bremer or Danico fitting into that equation, and Kamal Lavrock. Kamal batted 6 4s in Canada, so and he done a very good job in that aspect. So between that 6 or 7 players that I just named, they'll probably provide the top 6 for the first game. Again, these games coming up with Canada will allow me to look at the Breemers, the Danicos, and then make a final decision on the batting order.
Where does Dean Miners fit in?
Dean will probably come in a little lower down the order, simply because if you look at our games over in Canada, one of our biggest problems we had was finishing the game off. We were setting it up perfectly. We were getting 200 for 4 or 5 or for 40 overs, and then being built up for 220, 230. So Dean is going to come in the lower order to try to give me some experience as to closing out the game, because we should have easily been getting 260, 270 after being in that position. So with his experience and knowledge, he should be able to hopefully close games out for us, depending on the circumstances that we're in.
My final question You played for Cleveland in their final game and scored runs. Any thought of you representing Bermuda again?
Are you joking? No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, let's be real. If I had two healthy knees, then sure. But at this stage, my main focus is just coaching. I'm really enjoying this opportunity to coach Bermuda, and I really hope that after this tournament goes successfully, that we can look to extend it, because I've really enjoyed working with the players, all the ins and outs, the ups and downs. It's been challenging, but it's been really enjoyable. I'm really proud to have this opportunity, and I look forward to this team being successful.
It can be difficult choosing the right amount of data to fit your life. With Data Test Drive from Digicel, you can. Take us for a spin with any postpaid smartphone plan, and we'll give you all you can use data for the first 3 months of your agreement. When you come to the end of your 3 months, we'll let you know if you need more data on your plan and give you the option to increase your data allowance. Plus, our postpaid plans now include unlimited international SMS and increased international long distance minutes. Digicel. Be extraordinary.
From one national sport to another, the Dudley Eve semifinals took place last night at the BAA field. Let's get that report. The PHC Zebras and Devonshire Cougars have advanced to the 2016-17 Dudley Eve Cup final following their semi-final wins at the BAA field. The PHC Zebras defeated North Village Rams 4-1. They took a 1-0 lead in the 30th minute when Kadeem Abraham hammered home this shot from the edge of the box. Kishan Bean doubled the lead when he lobbed the ball over an advancing Taj Bell in goal for the North Village Rams 3 minutes later. In the 79th minute, Pierre Smith pulled a goal back for the North Village Rams when he found the back of the net, but the PHC Zebras' 2-goal lead was restored in the 80th minute when Marco Warren scored. 2 minutes later, Rakeem DeShields would score the final goal for the PHC Zebras as they advanced. In the nightcap, the Devonshire Cougars defeated the Dandytown Hornets 3-1. The Devonshire Cougars were looking to prove that their 2-1 win over Dandytown Hornets a few weeks ago was not a fluke, and they did just that, coming away with the win. Christian Allboy gave the Devonshire Cougars the lead in the 19th minute, but that was cancelled out in the 47th minute when Eusebio Blankendow equalized. Lamont Brangman would give the Devonshire Cougars a 2-1 lead when he scored in the 89th minute, and then Naeem Simmons found the back of the net in stoppage time to earn the win. Jason, on Tuesday at the National Sports Center, it was the Bermuda School Sports Federation Swimming Championships for middle school and senior school. Let's get that report. Warwick Academy made a big splash at the National Sports Center pool as they coasted to big victories in the Bermuda School Sports Federation middle and senior school swimming championships. Warwick Academy won the middle school championships with 377 points. Salters Grammar School finished a distant second with 203 points, while Bermuda High School finished third with 155 points. Warwick Academy won the boys division with 205 points, with Salters Grammar finishing second with 119, and Summersfield Academy finished third with 33. Warwick Academy also won the girls division with 172 points. BHS finished second with 155 points, and Salters rounded out the top three with 84 points. Logan Watson Brown from Warwick Academy was victorious in the over 13 girls 50-meter butterfly and 100-meter individual medley. The only other multiple winners in the middle school meet were Desmond Bryan of Warwick Academy in the over 13 boys 50-meter butterfly and 100-meter individual medley, and Sam Williamson, also from Warwick Academy. He won the under 13 boys 100-meter butterfly and IM. Warwick Academy amassed 357 points on their way to winning the senior school championships. Salters was second with 286, while Bermuda High School collected 101 points. Warwick Academy swept the boys and girls division with 208 and 149 points, respectively. Salters Grammar School finished second in the boys with 162 points and second in the girls division with 124 points. Salters Grammar's Ashley Irby won the under-16 girls 50-meter butterfly and 50-meter freestyle. Shannon Hassel from Work Academy won the 50-meter backstroke and individual medley. Sophie Clare also won twice in the over-16 division, winning the breaststroke and 50-meter freestyle. 4 Work Academy boys were double winners, with Keegan Woolley winning the 50-meter breaststroke and individual medley, Jude Mosley winning the backstroke and 50-meter freestyle. Jesse Washington won the over-16 butterfly and individual medley, and Britton Mosley won the 50-meter backstroke and 50-meter freestyle.
Jason, last week we had Quentin Sherlock playing in the Ghana Open. Well, earlier this week, Elizabeth Parsons finished third for her school, Wagner Women's College, in a championship.
Wagner freshman Elizabeth Parsons finished third as the Wagner women's golf team closed out its fall season with a win over Hampton in the Maryland Eastern Shore Collegiate Challenge. Parsons, playing in a 36-hole event held at a 5,665-yard par 72 Ocean City Golf Club, held the lead midway through the tournament following her first round of 1 over par 73, which was the lowest round of her Wagner career. Parsons shot a second round 82 to finish at 155, 11 over.
The BLTA's fall championships are underway at the W.E.R. Joe Tennis Stadium. Jay, it's been some hot action, some very close matches, some going 3 sets, some, even though they go 2 sets, still a lot of battles going on. Let's get that report.
The Bermuda Lawn Tennis Association 2016 Fall Championships continued at the W.E.R. Joe Tennis Stadium. Media headline a week ago, Trey Mallory defeated Romar Douglas in their men's A-singles Group A match, 6-2, 6-3. David Thomas won his men's A-singles Group B match in straight sets, defeating Hugh Seymour, 6-2, 6-love. Kevin Manders, playing in the same division, won his match against Nicholas Cooper, 6-2, 6-1. Jair Salam Lawrence defeated John Eels, 6-4, 7-5 in their men's B-singles match. In the women's A-singles Group A, Janaze Bradshaw Douglas and Kayla Harvey went 3 sets, with Bradshaw Douglas winning 6-2, 6-7, 7-5. In a women's C-singles Group A division match, Emma Aswad and Christine Beasley also needed 3 sets, with Aswad coming away with a 4-6, 6-2, 6-1 win.
As you can see, Jay, from the report, there's a lot of big-name players playing in the tournament.
Well, Earl, now it's time for me to ask you the question. Looking at guys like Manders, Thomas, obviously could probably be noted as favorites. Give me some other names you'd be looking for in the women's brackets, and also some dark horses.
Well, let's go with the men's side. Obviously, you have David Thomas, you have Gavin Manders. Jensen Bascom is not playing in this particular tournament. You have in the men's A division, because there's 2 divisions there, you have the likes of Romar Douglas, Michael Way, dark horse. Obviously, youngster Trey Mallory, who's just returned this week. He's only here for a week before heading back to school in Florida. He could be considered a dark horse. The other night, he took care of Romar Douglas quite easily, to tell you the truth, 6-2, 6-3. So he's coming off a high. On the ladies' side, it's good to see Ashley Brooks back out. You have Kayla Harvey, a youngster, playing. So Bermuda bodes well right now for the sport of tennis. A lot of youngsters, although some of these older guys have been playing for quite some time, they're still young in the tennis age. So you have youngsters like Nicholas Cooper coming through. And you know, we could see some of these youngsters representing Bermuda in the Davis Cup on both ladies and men's side in the very near future. Well, Jay, I actually had a chance to speak with Trey. Here's that interview. What has been some of the things that has helped you over the years get to where you are today?
I think going overseas to to train in a tennis academy in Florida, which I play a lot more tennis at a higher level and a lot more match play, a lot more training, like I said, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Now, when you first go out there a year ago, Obviously, it's something new to you. The constant training, the constant match play, and the higher level. Did you at times feel like this is a bit overwhelming for me?
No, not really, because if I want to go to the next level, that's the only way, basically. So, no. Yeah.
How did the ITF tournament here set you up for the tournament in Curacao? Did you feel added pressure here as opposed to over there? Obviously, you're going to be nervous going into the match over there, but how did you set up here to then go over there?
Since it was my first one here, there's a little more added pressure here because, like, I was expected to do, like, I just wanted to impress my home crowd, but it was a lot more pressure than going to a different country. Yeah, and not my home crowd.
So you get over in Curacao, as we talked earlier, you say you're a bit nervous. You're down a set. What changes?
I just said to myself, you have nothing to lose. You're only 14. You have 4 years left of this. And then I just started like playing looser, going for more of my shots, and started winning more points, and that's where I got my momentum. Yeah.
Do you find you can get back into that space anytime you want now, be more looser? As you say, you're only 14 and you got a lot of time to play, and especially the 18 division. So do you feel like you can get back in that space anytime you want?
Not every time, because like some days I'm gonna have like an off day. So I'll try to do it every time, but no, I don't think I can.
The Rubis Squash Championships are underway at the Bermuda Squash Rackets Association Club in Devonshire. Let's get that report on how matches have been going on thus far. The Rubis Grade A Squash Tournament saw another full slate of matches taking place at the Bermuda Squash Rackets Association Club. Grade A favorite Micah Franklin advanced in a straight sets victory 11-3, 11-4, 11-3 over former Bates men's squash player Jason Shrub, while Patrick Foster recorded a straight games win over Anthony Fellows 11-5, 11-3, 11-3. 4 matches needed a 5th game to decide a winner. Taylor Carrick defeated Mark James 4-11, 7-11, 11-8, 11-9, 11-8 in a Grade B match. 2 Grade C matches also went the distance, with Charlie Riker defeating Greg Fitzgerald 7-11, 12-10, 11-13, 11-8, 11-9, and Patrick Neal defeated Romar Douglas 9-11, 11-8, 11-9, 6-11, 11-9. Colin Cooper defeated Tony Muldoon 7-11, 11-9, 6-11, 12-10, 11-9 in their B Plate division match. That was the report from the Rubis Squash Championships to date. Jay, it's a sport where it's getting a lot more publicity here of late. We've had the likes of Nick Kime represent us internationally. Now we've got 2 more professionals on tap with Micah Franklin and Noah Brown. But your thoughts on the sport of squash?
Well, it's always great to see our players represent Bermuda throughout the world. I mean, once again, you just said it, that brings us exposure. And that's what it's all about. So now that the little youngster who's coming up through the ranks, they see, you know what, I could represent Bermuda and take my talents across the world. And folks like Franklin, guys like Franklin, for them to come back and give back is what it's all about.
Without a doubt, Michael Franklin, currently the assistant squash pro at the squash club. He just recently returned from Canada, where he played in a tournament, bowing out in the first round, but he's gaining valuable experience. Currently, Noah Brown is abroad, working on and honing his skills, going through what Michael Franklin went through a few years ago to prepare himself for international competition.
Why choose Digicel Prepaid? Well, you get free social media usage, which means you can use Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and WhatsApp for free without it affecting your data allowance. And for all your other online activity, we have the cheapest prepaid data in Bermuda. Digicel, best choice for prepaid.
Jay, the Island Basketball League resumed after a brush with Hurricane Nicole. Let's get the report from last night's action at Cedar Bridge.
The Island Basketball League resumed at the Cedar Bridge Academy Gymnasium after the effects of last week's Hurricane Nicole, with both new teams to the league getting wins. The first game of the night saw the Island Bowlers defeat Skyforce 50-41. John Lee scored 29 points for the Island Bowlers, while the Skyforce were led by Jarrell Smith with 24 points. In the second game of the night, the Tsunami defeated the Hoop Stars 52-43, picking up their second win of the season. Jason Simons led the way for the Tsunamis with 22 points, while the Hoop Stars got 14 points from Johnny Lowe.
On Tuesday, Jay, the sailing community and Bermuda alike got a little excited because the announcement of the schedule for the 2017 America's Cup was released. Great Sound, Bermuda, on stage, come next May.
Well, Earl, we've been talking about it, and it feels like it's getting a little bit closer. Christmas is getting a little bit closer. This is the premier event of this sport, and it's happening here on our island. And I don't think, as locals, we have really grasped the enormity of this particular event yet. But I guarantee, within the next 365 days, well, actually, until between now and May, next 6 months, I guarantee we would understand what the America's Cup is really about.
Let's get the dates of which the America's Cup will be sailed on the Great Sound.
The first race, starting on May 26th at 2 p.m., will be the first time the America's Cup class yachts and their sailing crews engage in full competitive action. All of the 35th America Cup races from May 26th through to June 27th will take place on the astonishing waters of the Bermuda Great Sound. The top 4 challengers from the Louis Vuitton America's Cup qualifiers will split into 2 semifinals, and this second stage of the 2017 competition will run from June 4th until Monday, June 12th. The winners take part in a finals competition to determine which team will take on Oracle Team USA in the America's Cup match presented by Louis Vuitton. Also running over these dates will be the Red Bull Youth America's Cup and the return of the AC-45 foiling race catamarans, currently being campaigned by the America's Cup team in the Louis Vuitton America's Cup World Series. Finally, Saturday, June 17th, is when Oracle Team USA will take on the team that has fought its way through and earned a place in the America's Cup match. From that Saturday until Tuesday, June 27th, as needed, the 2 teams will go head-to-head in a series of races to be first to claim the 7 points needed to win the America's Cup 2017.
It can be difficult choosing the right amount of data to fit your life. With Data Test Drive from Digicel, you can. Take us for a spin with any postpaid smartphone plan, and we'll give you all you can use data for the first 3 months of your agreement. When you come to the end of your 3 months, we'll let you know if you need more data on your plan and give you the option to increase your data allowance. Plus, our postpaid plans now include unlimited international SMS and increased international long distance minutes. Digicel. Be extraordinary.
Nikita Robinson, the under-15 girls football program, obviously a lot of accolades around, not only in Bermuda but globally, following their success at the recently concluded tournament over in the U.S. But where do we go from here? Where do you see this program and these particular girls going from here?
Well, the excitement's generated already. You know, the U15 girls are ready to embark on their U17 adventure, which will be next summer. So, you know, the excitement is there. We've given them time off and given them time to just relax and kind of pig out and just not train as intense as we had them training. So, you know, a lot of them was like, Coach, you know, we're ready to train. So they're hungry. They're looking forward to more football. They're looking forward to more experiences as the one we had in Orlando. The next task obviously will be to bring in the next the next under 15 group, which will, you know, be our current P6s and M1s in September. So that will be next for us, is actually getting the next group and getting them excited. And I've already had some parents, you know, calling and asking, you know, And so we're looking to do an intake very soon, hopefully by the end of this month, working closely with the BFA to see when it will be a good time to get that group in. So, it's just the beginning. But there's so much out there, and there's people now that want to come in. You'll hear some things that's happening soon, like golf tournaments and stuff. There's people that want to come in and support this group. I've received calls of people that would like to support, and we're still going to need support, but right now things are looking pretty good for us.
The new group that you're talking about, how do you get them motivated? As we often talk about the fact that they don't play a lot. There's no structured league for these young girls to constantly be playing. But you have a group of young ladies, under 15s, under 17s, under 20s, that constantly show up to training, are dedicated, are committed. How do you now get these P6s and M1s to want to do the same thing when we know our kids are very competitive?
Well, luckily for us, we have the 2005, 2006 group that will come in, but we have some 2003s and 2004s that are very eager. So they will mix in with that group at some point. So we know that they're very impressionable, and that group is very infectious. So the younger group coming in now will look and see, and there's protocols and there's structure that we have in the academy or in the national teams now, that once these younger players come and they see, oh, this is the expectation, then they just jump right in. So a lot of the hard work has been done, in a sense that the players that they will be interacting with will do that part for us. So there are no real structured leagues. The girls are playing, the BFA have some younger leagues, but hopefully with an intake we can provide extra football. So maybe something on a Sunday afternoon. Again, it'll be buy-in from parents. We're willing to do it. We have the time and we have the space, and so we're willing to do it. It would just be a matter of buy-in from the parents. Say, yeah, you know what, I want my daughter to be a part of this process, because it's a great process. And Bermuda is somewhat on the map now. When the other Caribbean countries or officials or whomever else are looking at Bermuda and saying, hey, that's the team to look out for the future. This is the future. So it's exciting. It's very exciting times. It's a lot of work, but I enjoy it. And I can see the benefits of it. This last group is, they're phenomenal. And the two groups just ahead of them, the U20s, and even some of our senior players, very talented group, and they want to do this, they want to go far. So we have quite a few of them away in school, and they're looking to give back and to represent, for a good bit of years. So that's hopefully going to be the driving force. Now, what I'm hoping can happen is that we can actually do a primary school tour. And by that I mean I would like to take a couple of these girls that just finished this tour and actually hit each primary school and an assembly, if the principals will allow that. Go to their assembly and just talk for a bit, show them some clips, because we have all the games, show them some clips of the girls in the games and some of the fun times they had, and kind of generate some interest there. Because I'm sure that there's some little girl that it's playing football right now in her backyard with her brother that just doesn't play in a club, is not interested in playing in a league, doesn't play for the school team, but hey, this may say, hey, I might want to try that. So, there are girls out there that want to do it more and more, but, it's going to take work, and we got to go find them.
Did playing in the U.S. in the last tournament play into, like, a favor for Bermuda?
I would say yes, because we didn't have the extra things to worry about. Hotel was phenomenal, food was phenomenal, transportation was phenomenal, facilities were phenomenal. So we couldn't ask for a better segue or about an intro into international football for some of these girls. Of course, we had one or two on tour that have been to Haiti or some of the other countries that didn't have the luxuries that we were afforded in Orlando. So I think it was a great tournament to open their eyes or to get them excited about playing the sport, knowing what we know, that under 17s next year, I don't really see it being at ESPN, although it would be fantastic. But, usually the CFU tournaments are held in the Caribbean.
You and Vance work a lot together. How does that sort of bounce off of each other information, just that understanding of where you want to get these girls to and to what level?
It was interesting working with Vance now, as he was my coach back in the day, but the girls see him as the calm one and see me as the crazy one, so we kind of balance each other out. We don't always agree, but we have the same goal. So he may have a suggestion that it may work or may not. I may have a suggestion, it may work, it may not. But a lot, we do trial and error stuff, but we always seem to come up with the same outcome. Even when I was in the Bahamas game was when I got a headache and things went, he just jumped right in, and it was like we didn't miss a beat, you know what I mean? And it's so easy working with Vance, and working with Aaron as well. Aaron has different ideals and different ideas, and his approach is a little different. Vance and I kind of approach things almost identically, and it could be the fact that we just had the same experience, as him being my coach and me playing under him. So that makes it a lot easier. And I mean, he isn't utilized as much as he should be. I mean, the guy, he knows a lot. He knows, and he has a B license. I mean, a UEFA one. He done it way before this new one come up. And so I just think that I'm actually been blessed with being able to coach with him, and fully coach with him. He's always been there to assist, even when he wasn't selected as one of the coaches to travel. He's always been there. I always go back and ask him, hey, what do you think about this? And he's always just been there, and he has such a huge heart and passion for women's football. He always has, you know what I mean? I know a lot of stuff has happened and a lot of stuff has come through because of Vance's passion, and being inside of the association, he is a voice for us.
You have what I would say a very good and strong team around you, because you mentioned Aaron, and there's many others that quietly go on and do a job behind the scenes, but you guys don't get the recognition that me personally, I think you deserve. But that the team unity of coaches and management that you have as well, Sharice Bean and others that come on board when you guys go on these tours, how well does that group gel?
Oh wow! I'll be honest. Without Sharice, I don't know. I mean, I took a team to Baltimore, and she couldn't make the trip, and so I kind of had to do all of her stuff. Good thing I didn't have to really coach in Baltimore, but she just makes everything just run so smoothly. I mean, it's times when I can actually just go in my room and just go to sleep and know that the girls are going to nap, the girls are being woken up, they're going to yoga, they have their snacks. I can stay in a hotel room while she runs out and goes and gets whatever the girls' needs are. And that makes life so much easier. This tournament we had Deshaun Cooper as the goalkeeping coach, again fitting right in. He's amazing with the players. We used to have Daniel Johnson, who was just as fantastic with the players. And so as a coach and staff, we have our staff meetings, we outline rules of each coach, and people stick to those rules, so it's easy. So when we are coaching, when we're at the field, that you're the physio, deal with the physio stuff. That you're a manager, so you're writing up sheets. You're not coaching. You know what I mean? The coaches that are coaching. And so it just works really well. I have really no complaints. And the support system is fantastic, And I think that I would probably be able to work with pretty much anyone, but they would have to have the vision, and not necessarily my vision, probably 90% of it, but not completely. But so long as we understand that this is for the players, not for us. I don't need the interviews, or I don't need the headlines, but I need to make sure that these girls are seen, and that these girls are actually the ones that everybody sees and highlights and wants to invest in and wants to watch and wants to see. So and our team, we think like that. If we could stand in the background, if you see the pictures, I was trying to hide, and Bernice was at the airport and Van stood in the back and just blended in with the girls. We tried to not take the spotlight, but obviously it comes with the rule that you have to sometimes do these interviews and stuff like that. But it's a great team, and I enjoy it.
Why choose Digicel Prepaid? Well, you get free social media usage, which means you can use Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and WhatsApp for free without it affecting your data allowance. And for all your other online activity, we have the cheapest prepaid data in Bermuda. Digicel, best choice for prepaid.
How much difficulty is it? Because our girls are playing a lot younger than the age group required for these tournaments. So do you see the benefit of them starting a lot earlier and then looking at it when they get to the right age of, say, like the under 15s, they'll be like the teams that they've faced against, or the teams in the next round, the quarterfinals, the semifinals and stuff?
Well, if you look at this team here, we have players like Danny Watson, who went with our under 20 group and actually got to play. And then you have Dahlia Aben, who has also traveled with the older group. Leilani Nesbitt, who has had oodles of experience. You mean, she's always played with boys and always played upper level. Nia Christopher, another player who, you know, who's played with boys, has always been a level above. So our teams are not really going to be made up of players that are stronger or above a level. But I think that the sooner we start them playing and the more we play against opposition that is a little bit stronger than them, then they will continue to grow stronger and get better. We try not to, especially in our practice matches, we don't focus on results. Because let's be honest, if we focus on results, the USA game at the end would have looked a little bit different than what it looked like once, you know, the final whistle blew. So we look to get these girls playing as much. So if a team comes in, a college team or someone, let them go out there and play. Let's not worry about the result. Let's see them playing against players that pass the ball faster. So when we talk to them about ball speed and training, they understand that. You know, a lot of them understood that after the USA game. That's what you mean about playing faster, you know, picking my head up, knowing my pass before it came. So those are the types of things that they benefit from by playing tougher opposition. So the sooner they do start playing, and the sooner we can get them into programs. Like, we have training camps in place now. So like next summer, there's already a training camp that's being put together, so that this group, even though they're not in tournament next summer, they can go out there and at least experience that, so that the following summer when they are in tournament, it's not like shell shock. I can remember Leilani's first international tournament. We played against Honduras in this same exact U15 tournament, and by halftime she was out of it, you know, and I understood it. You know, it's my first international, oh dear. You know, and so some of these other girls had gone with the U15, with the U17s already, and she wasn't quite available. She was 12, I believe. So, you know, Samira and Zakia and these guys had already been U17, so they had that, but it was her first one, and it was just like, you know, in the ball she couldn't score, and then they were defending her and they were tight on her. She used to play in Bermuda, doing what she wanted. So those types of things have to happen in order for the girls to grow.
Given the fact that you do quite a bit with you and Aaron Denkins do quite a bit with all three U20, U17, U15s. How much drive do you have left? I mean, because at some point in time you do get burnt out, but it hasn't come yet. But how much drive does that? How much of the inspiration keeps you two guys going that these girls are giving off?
It could be one training session, you see a girl do something, and you're like, this is why you do it. So, like, we're not going to get burnt out. We're never going to get tired, because we're always, what's next? What's next? And, you know, after this U15 tournament, it's like, I can't wait for U17s and U20s next year. And the U17s and U20s can't wait for U17s and U20s next year. So, you know, also for us, it's 3 age groups, but it's the same people. So it tends to be the same players. So we don't actually have 3 different teams, if that makes sense. You know, our U17s and U20s are pretty much the same people. You know, our U20s and our senior team, pretty much the same people. So, you know, we're just involved and around the same people. So we actually have gotten to see them grow and mature in the game. So that's what drives us, and that's what keeps us inspired, just knowing that these girls want it. You know what I mean? It's a fantastic group right now. We have an amazing group of players, I would say 25 and under. And even, you know, a couple of the women had their little league, and there were some players there that, you know, I've been forwarded names and say, hey, I think you should look at this player, look at that player. So there are other people out there watching players that's like, hey, coach, this person I think you should have a look at and give a shot. So, you know, it's still some senior players out there too that I think are going to be the younger senior players that I think can be beneficial and can make it happen.
It can be difficult choosing the right amount of data to fit your life. With Data Test Drive from Digicel, you can. Take us for a spin with any postpaid smartphone plan, and we'll give you all you can use data for the first 3 months of your agreement. When you come to the end of your 3 months, we'll let you know if you need more data on your plan and give you the option to increase your data allowance. Plus, our postpaid plans now include unlimited international SMS and increased international long distance minutes. Digicel. Be extraordinary.
Well, Jay, that's it for today's Digicel Sports Show. Your thoughts on the weekend of sports coming up, especially the cricket here at the National Sports Center?
Well, once again, it gives us a chance to assess where we are as a national team. Be interesting to see how the youngsters perform. It gives us a marking where we need to improve on going into the tournament later on in the month over on the West Coast. So, looking forward to the matches. Can't wait.
That's it. I'm your host, Earl Baisden.
My name's Juggling Jay.
Have a great day.